On Tuesday, July 25th, 2019, I initiated internal and subsequent criminal investigation into the on-duty conduct of Geneva City Police Officer Jack Monsanto. It was alleged that Officer Monsanto used unnecessary force on a female suspect that was under arrest by the Geneva Police Department for 2 violation-level offenses. The internal investigation is being handled by the Geneva Police Department Internal Affairs Unit. I reached out to Sheriff Kevin Henderson, who agreed to have the Ontario County Sheriff's Office conduct the criminal investigation. As a result of that criminal investigation, Officer Monsanto was arrested today, Wednesday, July 31st, 2019, at approximately 11:15 a.m. by the Ontario County Sheriff's Office for 1 count of criminal obstruction of breathing or blood circulation under Article 121.11 of the New York State Penal Law, which is a Class A misdemeanor. Because the investigation into this matter is continuing, I can only offer a few details of the case. I can report that the Geneva Police Department's body-worn camera evidence is part of the investigation. The victim is cooperating and has been referred to victim services. As of Thursday, July 25th, 2019, Officer Monsanto was suspended from his duties as a police officer for the City of Geneva, pending the outcome of this matter. It is never a good day when the Chief of Police has to report the arrest of a police officer from their own agency, but it's a necessary part of maintaining a credible and transparent agency. Although this allegation is disturbing, it in no way diminishes the trust I have in the men and women of the Geneva Police Department who work hard every day to protect our city. As Chief, I pledge that this matter will be dealt with fairly and justly, upholding the rights of all those involved. I want to thank Sheriff Kevin Henderson, the Ontario County Sheriff's Office, and the Ontario County District Attorney's Office for assisting the Geneva Police Department with this criminal investigation. So with that, again, realize that this is still very active and ongoing, both criminally and internally. So we will do our best to answer questions that you have, but realize some of them may not be able to be answered at this time.
Where did the initial incident take place?
I'm sorry?
Can you describe the nature of
Thanks, Lynette.
unnecessary force?
I don't know if we want to get into that.
So, during the arrest process, and you can draw a lot of conclusions, quite frankly, from the charges and the nature of the charges. There was an allegation of unnecessary force that resulted in the arrest today that was related. So, we want to be careful, again, to treat this defendant the same as every other defendant that we prosecute. He's entitled to the presumption of innocence, and to some semblance of having this trial in court and not here. But I think when we look at the charges that will be available after the hearing this afternoon, this evening, we could be able to sort of have conclusions as to what the nature of the force was.
Can you just tell what the allegation is?
He's charged with criminal obstruction of breathing or blood circulation, which is basically intentionally impeding the breathing or blood circulation by putting applying force to the throat, so strikes.
Where did the original incident take place in the city of Geneva?
The original incident that brought us into contact with her was up on at 326 Main Street.
And what's the condition of the victim at this point?
She is okay, and again, Victim Services is reaching out to her.
How long has Officer Monsanto been with the Geneva Police Department?
He started his employment here in August of 2009, so just shy of 10 years.
And you said he's suspended. Is he suspended with pay or without pay?
With pay currently.
Can you talk about the nature of what brought him to that 326 Main Street? Was there a disturbance?
The initial complaint was of a noise violation under our municipal code, and that was the original complaint that brought us there initially.
Just wondering, Mr. Attorney, why not assault? Why this charge? How did you arrive at this charge?
The facts and circumstances, as Chief Passalacqua just indicated, it's still an ongoing investigation. But the facts that we were able to develop, that the police department was able to develop, more closely fit point, I would just say that, I mean, there were a lot of things that came into play that resulted in the internal investigation, the criminal investigation.
For the body cam footage, do you see everything that took place? Was it stopped at any time? I mean, what can you share with us about that? I know you guys are currently looking at it, but.
As far as the video, body cam footage, obviously it's part of the case, it's evidence. We're not gonna discuss that, but, it is part of the case due to the evidentiary nature of it.
Were there any other officers on duty with him at this point when this alleged incident occurred?
There were, but I'm not gonna get into details of, what was going on here at the time that this took place.
What time did it take place? Was it an early morning incident, late at night?
Yeah, this was, early morning hours, and I don't know an exact time when the actual complaint came in that morning.
Did the victim, the alleged victim, did she need medical treatment at any point?
No.
Did she not seek medical treatment, or was it offered?
She did not seek any medical treatment.
Was it offered?
Again, I'm not gonna get into that, and into the actual allegation of what took place inside there. All I'm gonna say is that, there was no medical attention that was sought.
Any other previous calls to that particular location or any other history that we have with that neighborhood or that address where this officer was called to for this noise violation?
Yeah, I mean, we've been there, we've been to the address before, but, you know, nothing that I've prepared to tell you about today that would be relevant to why we're here.
Do you have a release? Is that what?
Yeah, I will provide the statement I will provide to all you, before you leave.
Okay, then I might need to ask you to say it again, if you don't mind, or at least summarize for me.
Okay.
that okay?
Can we finish the question?
Can we finish asking questions first?
Sure, yeah, just
Is
a summary.
is the union prepared to offer any statement at this point?
No, right now, Council 82 is not gonna comment on the matter.
Sheriff Henderson, how was it handling an investigation into a fellow law enforcement, these allegations? How difficult was that?
Well, when I was contacted by Chief Passalacqua, I stated absolutely, our objective here is to work with each other. He realized that this should be done independently from his office, so that's why we became involved. And then I assigned my investigators to the case. These are difficult, but again, law enforcement is going to be held accountable like we expect everybody else to. So we did a thorough investigation, consulted with the district attorney's office, and came up with the appropriate charge.
And Chief, how has this impacted morale here within your office, having one of your fellow police officers charged with a crime?
It affects it tremendously. From an internal standpoint, as a leader, you try to keep your men and women, with their integrity intact, their honor and their pride intact. And unfortunately, when something like this happens, we all wear the same uniform. So we all take it personal. We all take a hit to it, and it affects everybody in different ways. So at this point, I have a duty as the leader here to pick the men and women up here that do a great job every day. I will be meeting with all my departmental personnel at a later time, and we will discuss this further, and how we're going to move forward.
Do you feel that there's going to be approach on any policies that are currently being conducted out in the streets?
Our standard operating procedure, our policies and procedures, I feel are intact, and they're obviously there for a reason. When you do something and violate those policies and procedures, just like when you're 5 years old, there's a consequence. There's a consequence for action. So we are constantly looking at policies and procedures. That's just part of law enforcement with that, standards changing and laws changing every day. So that's something we're not going to stop doing. So we'll continue to do that moving forward.
When's the arraignment scheduled for?
This afternoon at approximately 5:30 p.m.
Have there been other complaints against this officer?
No, not that I'm going to discuss. And again, it's tough because with a personnel matter, obviously there's certain rights that are protected. So again, we can't get into any details of any of that anyway. If there were anything to report.
Were there any other officers involved?
Again, I'm not going to get into that at this time. It's both internal and criminal, the investigative side of things, and for the protection of everybody involved in this, and holding their rights that are afforded to them. I'm not going to get into that.
Can you just kind of sum up your feelings for us? Are you disappointed? I mean, how does something like this impact you personally?
It's tough to deal with. Policing today is hard. It's a tough job. When you hire men and women to do the job, you hope that they do it the same way that I did it for 17 years before I became the leader of this department. When you have something like this happen, it's disappointing, it's discouraging, it's disturbing, to say the least. And you know, you learn from what goes on, and you try to become better because of it. And I'm a firm believer in that. So as a leader, what I will do moving forward is just assure that, again, everything that we have in place within the police department, the transparency that I brought to the office, I believe, for the last year that I've been sitting here is going to continue. We have nothing to hide. There shouldn't be anything to hide anywhere ever. We implemented our body-worn camera system just a couple months ago. So we are moving forward, again, trying to be more transparent. That's